Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing a further update of the Brooks Ghost 14. I've now done over 260k or 160 miles. So now is an update on if the shoe's got any better, any worse, where I'm at with the shoe, how I'm using it in my training. Let's get on with this episode. So yeah, this is just a quick update. I've already done my initial run and I've also done my 50k 30 mile update as well. So obviously this is more of a significant update in terms of further down the line. Is the shoe still holding up? Have my opinions or thoughts changed at all since those first two reviews? So here's a quick review. So on the 50k 30 mile update, I gave it a 33.5 out of 50. And today I'm just literally going to go through each of the big areas again. So outsole, midsole, upper, value and durability, and give an update in terms of if any of the scores have changed or got for better or worse, etc. over the following kind of 200k or 100-ish miles. So let's get on with the first bit, outsole. So yeah, I'm not going to go into quite as much detail. If you want to watch all the detail from the initial ones, then obviously I'll tag them all, go and watch them. But yeah, outsole, I gave it a 7 last time. Now after 260k, 160 miles, it's going to stay that way. So yeah, a couple of close-ups. The outsole's holding up well. I gave it a 7 out of 10 last time. It's going to remain that way. Obviously I'll go into durability later. It's going to last and last. There is quite a significant chunk of rubber there. You can see it's not like a thin veneer. It's a big old chunk, a couple of mils, like 3 or 4 mils of rubber there. So yeah, give it a 7 last time. It's going to remain a 7 this time. Nothing's really changed. The outsole does what it says. Good, decent grip. Not bad in wet conditions. Just a lot of it. So quickly moving on to midsole. Again, full length DNA loft. First time the Ghost has had full length DNA loft. I think from what I know, the previous versions had a partial DNA loft and a different type of midsole in the front of the foot of the forefoot. So the midsole for me last time, both in the initial run and the update, was the most disappointing part of the shoe. From some of the reviews I'd seen prior to purchasing, they said it was quite a soft midsole, which is what perfect for what I wanted it to be. Obviously it was meant to be a recovery day easy run shoe, so the softer the better. Nice, easy, compressive, forgiving midsole. But again, this has been disappointing. It isn't that for me. For me it's quite firm, overly firm, and again the massive 12mm drop. Not a big issue in terms of the drop for me, but because it's such a big drop, the heel feels very plush and the forefoot feels under cushioned. I think it should probably drop to like an 8mm drop would be better. So then you could have extra foam in the midsole, just under the forefoot. That would obviously increase the weight, but for me would be a step in the right direction. But yeah, I gave it a 5 last time for the midsole. I'm going to now give it a 6. The more I've used it, obviously I've got another extra 100 odd miles in it, extra 200k. Like I said, my initial thoughts in terms of it's not responsive, it's not propulsive, it's not particularly fun or enjoyable, they still remain. However, it is just a solid mile muncher shoe. You stick it on and you make your peace that it's not going to propel you and it's going to be a purely an easy day shoe. You stick it on and you just plod, get the miles in the bank and don't worry about pace, etc. Which is what I'm using it for. Then it is pretty good for that. It literally is dependable. You stick it on your foot, it does protect your legs. Your legs do feel slightly less battered obviously when you come back compared to some other shoes I've utilised for easy running. So yeah, I'm going to knock it up by 1 point to 6 out of 10 for the midsole after 260k. Quickly moving on to the upper now, I gave it a 6.5 out of 10 last time at the update review. Today I'm going to give it a 7. So I had some major issues with overheating at the start. We're now in the summer, and granted the UK hasn't really had a summer yet, so I've not had massively hot conditions. However, I've not really had a repeat of those overheating issues. It is a double engineered mesh, so it is quite a thick mesh. It's not a kind of the thinner see-through meshes you sometimes see in these more modern shoes, which again will suit some and will not suit others. But I probably didn't give it the credit it gives in terms of the comfort at the back here. So solid, really solid heel counter, which again is by the by for me. But nice plush enough tongue, not massively plush, but mainly it's mainly around this heel counter here. Loads and loads of comfort. Again, once you get your lock down, which is pretty quick to get, laces are okay. It is a really nice place for your foot to be. And that's literally, I've never had any concerns, any even thoughts about foot slippage or discomfort or rubbing or anything like that. It is a nice, comfortable, plush place for your foot to be. So yeah, I'm going to knock it up to 7 out of 10. So an extra half point there. The more I've used it, the more I've realised the upper isn't all that bad. And it's probably one of the more stronger parts of the shoe. So yeah, 7 out of 10 for the upper. So quickly now that's the major parts of the shoe done, we're going to quickly just recover the value and durability. I'll spoiler alert, these two scores aren't changing. So yeah, value, I gave it a 6 out of 10 after the 50k 30 mile update. That's going to stay the same. So yeah, I always generally go off the RRP. This is a £130 shoe. Now if I'd paid £130, I would be disappointed. Like I said, there's not a lot of tech in it. It's not propulsive, it's not soft and cushiony. It's not a nice ride particularly. It's a bit boring, a bit meh, just a bit dull basically. So yeah, I give it a 6 out of 10 for value. Last time, I'm going to stick to that. For a £130 shoe, I would want a lot more. When you compare, like, there's alternatives. That £130 price mark, there's obviously other competitors which I would probably prefer to get, like even a Nova Blast as a daily trainer. Nimbus from Asics would be preferable and it's probably cheaper. Hoka have got the Clifton. There's on other brands, etc. So there's other alternatives which I would probably now grab in the future. Would I be getting a Brooks 15, Brooks 16, which I think has just come out? There might be improvements in those models. I'll look at other shoe reviewers before I go and grab them, but potentially not. But yeah, 6 out of 10 for value. I got it. Thankfully, I got it for £56 and a massive discount, and therefore I'm pretty happy with the price I paid. But for £130, which is the RRP, a bit disappointing. And last but not least, durability, the one saving grace of the shoe. I think this is predominantly what it's been built around in terms of, presumably again, why Brooks and especially the Ghost itself, with it being on its, I say, 16th iteration now, this is the 14th iteration. This is why it has a loyal fan base, is the durability. So I give it a 9 out of 10 last time. I'm going to stick to that prediction, 9 out of 10. Like I said, we're 260k, 160 miles in. Outsole, not showing any real wear and tear, even the writing and the really close lugs. I'll get some close-ups. The lug design's only just starting to fade. Midsole, again, with it being quite firm, presumably again, that's presumably why they made it quite a firm compound. No creasing, no deterioration as of yet. Upper, other than a few bits of discoloration, looks pristine. So yeah, I assume it's going to get to at least 500 miles, probably 600 miles, 800k, 900k. So 9 out of 10 for durability, that remains the same. Nothing's stuck out now as to why it's going to deteriorate quickly. I don't think it will. So yeah, the one saving grace is the durability. It will last and last. And like I said, if you do want just a plodder, a mile muncher, which is going to last and last, it's your single shoe, and you're just not going to go particularly quick in it. You're just going to get out there and do some daily miles. The Brooks Ghost is a good solid one. I assume that's why it's got a fairly loyal fan base. But yeah, so I'll wrap it up there. Totals. So at 50k 30 miles, I gave it a 33.5 out of 50. Now at 262k or 160 miles, it's gone up to 35 out of 50. So yeah, an extra 1.5 points. That was mainly the midsole and the upper. I've given a slightly increased score. But again, still, my opinion is still the same. It's a little bit better the more I've used it. The better I'm liking it. I didn't like it at all really at the start. I was very much disappointed with the size of the brand, the fact that it's a long-standing shoe, and the price point it was selling at. I assumed it was going to give me a lot more, which it didn't. Maybe that tempered my scores early on in terms of that disappointment. But it's still not a great shoe. It's still not one I would highly recommend to other people, especially this particular version. Again, drop in the comments if you've run in previous versions of Brooks, or if you've run in the 15 or the 16 at the minute. Are they better? From what I can tell, the Brooks Ghost Max is probably more the shoe I was expecting this to be, and the Brooks Ghost Max is presumably the shoe that I was hoping this was going to be, and actually that's what that shoe is. So maybe the Brooks Ghost Max is the better option for me if I go going forward. Slightly higher stack, slightly more softer foam. So I think that's probably the better version. If you were to go and get an easy recovery day shoe from Brooks, I'd probably venture towards that one rather than the Brooks Ghost 14. But yeah, as always, thanks for watching. That's the update there. The Mizuno will follow along quite quick. That's done also a similar amount of mileage. My Reebok is a million miles away, my daily trainer, to give it an update as well. The Takumi Sen and the Puma Deviate Nitro Elite are a bit further behind yet. I'm not going to do updates on them until I get a bit more mileage in them. But they're my speed day and my race day shoes, so that's understandably why they're not getting as much miles in them. But yeah, as always, thank you for watching. Drop in the comments any questions or queries, and I'll see you all on the next one.